My next source tonight is someone who's also watching the impact of President Trump's tariffs play out every single day. Ryan Calkins is the commissioner at the Port of Seattle, where a lot of the things that everyone who is watching now that they buy come into the United States of America. So it's great to have you here tonight, sir. The tariffs so far, I wonder for you directly, what is the impact that you're seeing? How could you sum up how much your job has changed because of the policies coming out of the White House tonight?
Thanks for having me, Caitlin. I can see it right over my shoulder here. I'm looking out at the Port of Seattle right now, and we currently have no container ships at berth. And that happens every once in a while in normal times, but it is pretty rare. And so to see it tonight is, I think, a stark reminder that the impacts of the tariffs have real implications. It means that we don't have longshore workers on the dock right now unloading merchandise. We don't have trains taking that merchandise to inland ports and all the way across the country to places like Des Moines, Iowa and Chicago, Illinois. And that's hundreds of jobs right here in our region and across the country.
You have none at your port right now?
We currently do not have any container ships at port right now. That's correct.
And that's because just nothing is being shipped over? I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
Well, It is. It's pretty unusual. We do anticipate, I was looking at our schedule, we anticipate about 25 vessel calls between here and the Port of Tacoma over the next 7 days. And keep in mind, we're not just importing from Asia or just China. We do have activity from all over the world, largely the Pacific Rim, but we are seeing a significant drop in container volume through our gateway.
You said this is rare. I mean, can you think of the last time that this happened, that you didn't have any of them coming in at your port?
Probably the height of the pandemic was the last time I saw it, before we really started to see the surge in cargo towards the end of the pandemic.
Okay, if you're someone who's listening, I mean, that's quite concerning given no one can forget the supply chain disruptions and what happened during COVID when things just were not on the shelves because of a pandemic that was, engulfing the entire globe. And I think they might look at this and say, there's no pandemic going on. Why is this again happening in the same result is coming where no ports or no containers are coming into ports as big as yours?
It is a great concern. And I think if you think ports are sort of the canary in the coal mine, the canary is struggling right now. And we really do need to get the kind of certainty that businesses need to make those, to order goods, to get them on ships. And that's not going to happen until we have some certainty to the end of the trade dispute. We're seeing it here at ports. Pretty soon we're going to start seeing it in retailers. And my concern is that the impact is going to be greatest on those families that are living paycheck to paycheck, the small businesses that rely on imports to stock their own shelves. They're going to be hit hardest by this.
And as we've been looking at this and waiting to see, how this shows up in stores, I was just talking to someone from a different port the other day who was saying this is when the back to school supplies would be coming in. And this is going to be a concern that you're seeing in August and September when kids are going back to school and parents don't have as many backpacks to choose from. We'll see if that plays out. But I do wonder what you made when the president said that the United States, that we don't need trade with China. And more than half of your imports, I know, come from China. I wonder what you would say to the president when he says that.
I think I would say that the greatest benefactor of 75 years of greater and greater interconnectivity between economies around the world has been the United States. We benefited because our manufacturers are able to export, our farmers are able to export their crops, and also because our consumers are able to tap into a global market that can produce certain goods more cheaply than we can, or in some cases, like in the case of my favorite morning drink, coffee, we don't make any of that except in a very small area in Hawaii. And so we need to import that stuff. And so global trade is key to our standard of living and our quality of life, and really to the general prosperity for our country. And so I really hope that they understand the urgency to end this trade dispute and work toward, again, greater global connection amongst our economies.
Yeah. Trust me, coffee is important to a lot of us around here, including me. Ryan, it's great to hear what's going on.
I'm from Seattle, where we need it to make it through the winter.
Yeah,
sure.
Every single day. Ryan, thank you for sharing that with us. Please keep us updated, of course, of what you're seeing at your port. Ryan Calkins, really appreciate your time
You
tonight.
bet. Anytime, Caitlin.